The last topic we'll include when we talk about scores in the ACT system is meshing. And this is what happens when you have multiple groups having to be put into a subject area together. So for example, when we talk about tertiary maths, there's several different levels of maths. You have a group of students doing maths applications, or whatever name that's going by. We have a group of students doing maths methods, and then we will have those who are doing specialist maths who have to be doing 2 classes of maths for that. And they basically have different levels of difficulty. Now, the issue is that all of these students actually have to go into the BSSS website as one large group. So we have 3 very different groups. And if we think about them with our mean and standard deviation, what we'll have is that we'll have one group up here, which have got a higher mean, which is your specialist students. We'll have a second group in the middle, which will be the method students. And then here we have our third group. Now, what we can see is that for each of these groups, we have that spread where we have most students around the middle, some going up here, and some on the bottom of the curve here. And that we also have an overlap. So when these 3 groups are meshed together, what's going to happen is that, for example, the middle students of each group are going to be separate here. The top students from specialists are going to be up the top here. But the bottom, the lower students from this group, are going to be down here, where, for example, they may end up being around the level or below the average, the mean of the methods group. The top method students, we can see, are going to do really well, but not as well as the top specialist students. They will be here. Same for our third group here. Their top students are going to do really well, but not as well as the top of the other groups here. Now, where these actual levels are set is going to come initially from that historic data, where the BSSS looks at how the students at that school in those 3 maths groups have done in previous year ASTs. And that's what's used to set where those curves are. So for example, we may find that they would overlap a lot more. You know, we may have one group, another group, another group here. And what you can see is that here there is a very, very large overlap. Now, whether that's a large or a small overlap, as I said, is going to depend on the historic data for that school, their maths students.